Welcome everyone, this is your host Abraham L. Jaguar, a professional game master. First of all, this channel is proudly partnered with the What the Funk shop. Please check out their store for all sorts of products. They have dice, miniatures, game master screens, home decorations, and many other things. You will find the link in the description and in the pinned comment. And make sure that you use my code for a special discount. Today I am continuing the solo journaling campaign featuring Entity. If you haven't seen the other parts of my solo campaign, it's a solo journaling RPG hybrid experience. Please check out the playlist in the description below. In this game, you play as a synthetic astronaut that is trying to make his way. He's supposed to look like a male in my case, through this unknown planet. He's the only survivor, if you can call a machine a survivor, of an expedition. And there is this strange pyramid as well in this planet. So we need to carry out various objectives. This is a legacy game. If the astronaut gets destroyed, you can create a new astronaut and he benefits from the things that the previous character has constructed. I'm going to try to make it as clear as possible when I am playing the role of the astronaut in past tense, because this is a journaling game, and when I am trying to make a sense of the interpretations. These two books, the expansion and the core book, they have no bookmarks, so the experience isn't exactly very smooth. You need to scroll up and down if you're using the PDF. And so it begins. Day 20 log mission. Develop a gravity manipulation research facility. I roll on the exploration table to determine the location. During this expedition, I moved through natural springs that don't just gush water. They created mesmerizing vortexes. I roll to determine structures. There was no structure in sight. I roll to determine the descriptor of the area. However, the rocky formations all around were colossal. Some of them seemed to be either half melted or with structures built into them. I roll to determine what I can see in the distance. As I was moving about, I spotted the silhouette of a massive creature against the horizon. I roll to determine the alien life form. Using my far scanners, it was classified as a phytoid. The plant-like being was several yards away. It exhibited massive talons as it moved on various appendages. The creature displayed several wounds that were healing at a rapid pace. Judging by the life forms it was ensnaring and devouring as it moved through the zone, it was clear that this was an ambush predator, as it mimicked itself with the colossal flora in the area. I rolled to determine the trouble encounter. I rolled to determine the challenge. Moving through the zone, keeping a safe distance from the colossal organism, I encountered an alien creature displaying signs of intelligence. I rolled to determine the alien life form. This organism, of a bat-like appearance, did not attack initially. It was covered in fire, which gave the impression of a plasma coating over its skin. For instance, it phased in and out, adopting a swarm form composed of various mini-organisms. Comparative data indicated that the being was most likely hibernative. I proceeded to carefully move around it, attempting not to provoke it, while my processors were looking for the correct protocol. Realizing that my advanced knowledge of biology would allow me to take the necessary steps and unnecessary movements, I proceeded to step away in the most non-threatening way possible. I roll to determine if I am successful in the task. The creature did not pursue, as it flew away, leaving a trace of plasma remnants in the sky. I rolled to determine the new location. I made my way across the landscape, searching for structures or any resources, be it flora or fauna, to assist me in my journey. Eventually making my way into a vast area continually ravaged by violent electric storms with lightning piercing the sky. I roll to determine the location encounter. I immediately went through my encyclopedia of data gathered so far for the easiest route. I roll to determine challenge. But soon enough, a cloud of bioluminescent fog engulfed my immediate surroundings, disrupting my vision and navigation. Once again, relying on my advanced knowledge of the biology of the area, I moved about, attempting to avoid any predators or natural hazards in the area. I was partially successful, but one of my legs got stuck inside of a semi-hard structure. I rolled to determine the characteristic of the structure. It was quite clearly an empirical data gathering cache, as the metal door closed upon my leg. Pushing my systems to the limit, I managed to extract my leg with minimal damage. I rolled to determine the opportunity. It was a short distance from there that I found an alien medical pod. It clearly offered a chance to study advanced bioengineering methods. I immediately searched through my processes and protocols for the best course of action. Once more, my advanced knowledge of biology presented the most optimal choice, as I immediately extended my cables into the pod. I rolled to see if I am successful in the endeavor. The backlash from the security protocols of the pod caused severe damage to my inner systems. The damage would indeed be permanent until I could find a more advanced facility to repair it. I roll to determine the finding. Close enough to the pod. As I had continued my investigation of the area, I also found an alien monolith engraved with strange symbols. I studied the symbols, and they provided valuable information. I rolled to determine the nature of the data obtained. It revealed the behaviors and patterns of various organisms, as well as their hiding places, types, and many materials created from their discharges and fluids. This would be valuable in the development of the gravity manipulation research facility. Considering that the damage taken was too severe, I decided to instead spend what was left of the day to recharge my energy. I roll to determine the success. I was most successful in extracting bioelectric impulses from the plant-like organisms in the surrounding zone. And this concludes this part of the session. Now I have two aspects. I am about to finish creating the next plant, the next structure, but I have three impairments. And one strain. So, to put it in terms of hit points, 4, 11, I have like 9 hit points left. The impairments are such a bother. Let's see if this astronaut isn't destroyed in this NASA fantasy. And thank you for watching this part of the solo journaling campaign. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, consider joining as a member using the Super Thanks button. Take a look at the information in the description and in the pinned comment. This has been your host, Abraham L. Jaguar, a professional game master. And remember, in tabletop role-playing games, it's not about what you want your characters to do. It's about what your characters are doing. Once again, thank you and see you later.